Hey friends, today we're going to make a cake, and not just any cake. We're going to make my favorite cake of all time. I never, ever make this cake because no one else in my family likes coconut. I'm the only one that likes it. So I probably have not made this cake in about 2 years. But during my early adulthood, it's the cake I had every year for my birthday. Love it. German chocolate cake. I think y'all are going to love it too. I know you have to get past the coconut thing. It also has nuts in it, so that takes some people out of the equation. But if you like coconut and you like nuts, it's so easy to make from scratch. It's so delicious, and it looks really pretty. Like it's great from like a presentation standpoint. It just has that kind of wow factor when you bring it out to the table at dinner. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is mix up our dry ingredients in a bowl. Starting with 2 cups of sugar, 1 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, 3/4 a cup unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons baking soda, 1 teaspoon salt. Now we're going to whisk these dry ingredients together and get them all nice and mixed up. We're only 3 minutes in. Most of that was me yapping, and we're already ready for the wet ingredients. So in this other bowl, 2 large eggs, 1 cup of buttermilk, 1/2 cup vegetable oil, 2 teaspoons vanilla. Now we're going to mix up those wet ingredients. We're going to pour them into our dry ingredients. And we're going to get that all mixed up. All right, we've got our wet and dry ingredients incorporated together. Now we have one last ingredient, and that is 1 cup boiling water. You're just going to pour this right into your batter and mix. This is going to make the batter really thin, but do not stress. That is exactly how it's supposed to be. There we go. I've got my cake pans ready. I sprayed these with Pam. I cut out a circle of parchment paper to put in the bottom, and I sprayed them with Pam again. There is no chance this cake is sticking to this pan. We're just going to split the batter evenly amongst our pans. All right, ready for the oven, 375 degrees for 25 to 35 minutes. With our pot over medium heat, we're going to put in 1/2 cup of butter, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of white sugar, a can of evaporated milk, and 3 large egg yolks. We're going to let this mixture get incorporated, and then we're eventually going to bring it to a boil so that it will reduce and thicken up. The mixture's boiling. We're going to stir it constantly until it thickens up. Now that our frosting has boiled for 8 or 9 minutes, it's definitely thick enough and time to take off the heat. So we'll do that. Now we'll add in 1 cup of coconut, 1 cup of pecans, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And there we go. Look at that German chocolate cake frosting. It looks divine. We're going to move this off the heat and let it cool to room temperature before we assemble our cakes. We're back. It's been a couple of hours. Our cake layers have cooled down. Our frosting has cooled down. So it's time to assemble this German chocolate cake and give it a try. The cake should come out pretty easily because remember I did the parchment paper on the bottom of the layers. And it did come out easily. You always want to put the top of your cake layer on your tray or whatever you're serving it on. You want the flat side of the cake up. That keeps everything nice and level when you frost it. All right, now we're going to take, now German chocolate cake is traditionally frosted not on the sides. It's just the frosting just goes between the layers and then on top. I'll show you a picture here. You obviously could frost it all over. Some people do the coconut frosting on the layers, and then around the outside they do a chocolate frosting. Lots of different options when decorating. I do it the way I grew up watching it done. Okay, so I'm gonna put half of our frosting right on top of this bottom layer. And we use our spatula and just spread that around. I'm not gonna push it all the way to the very edge because the weight of that top cake layer will press it towards the edge for me. Oh my gosh, you guys, this smells to die for. I cannot wait to taste. Okay, that's all there is to it. Okay. Whoops. Now we're going to do our second layer. Also came out very easy. Take off the paper. And remember, we're going to put the top of it down. See, now we have a nice level cake. There's no big hump in our cake, or it's not lopsided or anything like that. It's nice and flat. And we're going to use the rest of the frosting to go right on top of this layer. This frosting looks to die for. I am so excited. Pushing it not all the way to the edge, but almost. How gorgeous is that? I cannot wait to taste it. Okay, I've got my fork, I've got my plates, and I've got my cake server. Let's dig in. I already know it's gonna be delicious because I just licked frosting off my fingers. You guys. This is insane. The cake layers are so perfectly chocolatey, but not too overly sweet. And the frosting is just gooey, full of coconut and nuts. The whole thing is just perfection. Need a glass of milk or something. If you love German chocolate cake, please, please, please try to make this. You will be so impressed with yourself, so impressed with the results. It is not difficult. It is so easy. People will be so impressed. The taste is divine. You'll be so impressed with yourself. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous and it is delicious and it's perfect for the holidays. And I hope you'll try it. And I love y'all. See you tomorrow.